I mean, we're just checking to see if you paid attention, caviar dreamers. But I didn't realize that Labrador retrievers, caviar dreamers.
Every time I see my husband, when I haven't seen him for like an hour or so, I walk in and he goes, "Hello, Labrador retrievers."
That's good. Good morning, Labrador retrievers and caviar dreamers. We have a great guest today. She is an entrepreneur. She went to medical school, and she's literally just changed my life. People are telling me I look thinner.
Yes.
I mean, deep puffed. I would say deep puffed. It's not, I like a curvy girl.
No,
but
you do look thinner also. Give yourself credit.
I do look thinner. And I did not make a lot of changes. And it's all thanks to Karina Heinrich, the KTM method.
That's right. So let's get Karina in so you guys can find out and pay attention, because we're going to do a giveaway in this episode.
Yes, a giveaway that you too could follow the Karina method. And really, it's not that hard, because if I could do it, anyone could do it, because everybody knows that I am difficult and cannot do shit. Okay. Hi, Karina.
Hey.
How are you? You look beautiful.
Thanks.
So we're so excited to have you on, because we both did the Karina method reset.
We did.
And we are here to tell everybody it works.
It does work. And I'm going to be honest, the Karina method, TKM, has made it into my life as a real thing now. That's it.
I know. I feel the same way. At this point, I'm down 7 pounds, which is good for the Marge.
It is.
Now I finally went on my hormone replacement, but that's a big deal.
It's a big deal. And I didn't think you were going to be able to give up the cream and the coffee.
No, I'm doing my coconut cream.
I thought that was going to be hard for you, but I'm very proud of you.
Yes. Both of you guys. I think people get a little bit intimidated when you tell anyone they have to make any changes in the kitchen. I think we get really set in our habits. And I think what you guys can both attest to, making little changes goes a long way. 7 pounds is no joke. That's a whole dress size.
Yes, 7 pounds is no joke. And the truth is, I've eaten other things and it's like a solid 7. It's like stayed off. It's not just water weight. It's stayed off. Because listen, on the weekend I had some bread. I'm not going to lie. I cheated this weekend. I did those other things, but I didn't gain any back. I stepped on the scale this morning. It's still down to 7. And now I just have to be really good this week.
Absolutely. I think people, tell me the truth. When we first spoke and I said, okay, we're going to do a 5-day plan, what went through your head? Did you think, what can possibly happen in 5 days? Or did you think, oh my gosh, I have to give up my stuff for 5 days? Like, did it seem like you could wrap your head around those 5 days?
See, for me, I was a little bit like, well, I'm already working with a trainer. I eat really healthy because I was already down, a decent amount. I lost 15 pounds in 8 weeks because I've been working with a trainer. So I was like, 5 to 10 pounds in like 5 days. Do I really want to do this? This is so aggressive. I'm doing good in what I'm doing. I'm pretty healthy. Then when we look together at all the things like the sodium, changing my creamer out, adding in more fruit, changing up my protein shakes. I was making protein shakes like I was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I know, that so
was
funny.
So I was really impressed, but I was dubious, but I am really impressed. And I told you, I've kept going with this.
No, mine was like, I didn't want to give up my creamer. I'm the queen of half and half in my coffee. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, how am I going to do that? And the sodium, I was like, that wasn't so rough for me, the sodium. I didn't think. Did you think?
No, not so rough.
It was
taking a step back when you're ordering stuff. We don't realize how much salt is in everything and how you have all that extra water weight, So I don't think you weren't adding from the salt shaker, but everything you were kind of ordering out.
Yes. We were, listen, I'm going to be honest. We were lazy. Everything, with COVID, I still don't have a kitchen. I'm going to have less of a kitchen this week, finally, and we were ordering like salads from Panera. And when you saw the salt content, you were like, oh my God.
Yeah, there was, I was a little overwhelmed with, I think we just don't realize. And it wasn't that you guys weren't picking healthy choices because you were ordering a salad. It's a matter of taking like a step back and having someone on your shoulder, literally telling you every kind of analyzing breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, cravings, like, why do you want a craving at, 3:00? Do you really need a snack? And it's just we're so busy that having somebody right there that says, okay, Marge, are you really hungry right now? Or are you thirsty? Or do we need to have like this meal right now? Or can we have a snack? And here are like 5 great snacks that would do you well based off of what you like to eat. Even if you don't have a kitchen, you proved you have no kitchen. You were like one of the busiest people I've ever seen.
Oh, thank
and
you.
You were able to kind of make those decisions, you know, easily.
Exactly. And I think it's really worked, and I'm still following it. Yeah, it was Labor Day weekend, so of course I was eating, I was filming, and I didn't put on any weight, which was shocking because I did cheat a little. I had a little pasta, I had this, but I think when I'm following it, it really does take the weight off. So I think everybody has to do the TKM method. Definitely the 5-day reset. We're big proponents of this, but we want to know, how did this come about?
So I'm Lebanese. My dad is Lebanese. Grew up in West Africa. My mom is Latina, so also grew up in Latin America. And my mom was always really healthy. And so it's just all I knew, to eat like real foods, whole foods. I was an athlete, ran in college. So it's kind of been part of who I am anyway, living this healthy lifestyle. But it was really, my sister got diagnosed with celiac disease, which is an allergy to gluten. And this is like 20 years ago, before people knew the word gluten. And I was pre-med, and no one knew what was wrong with her. And I remember in one of my pre-med books reading about celiac, and I went to the doctor and I said, I want her to get this test. And they had really had no idea what I was talking about. And so she got tested, and that's what kind of led me on this path of nutrition, that people don't realize that every single thing we eat, I mean, in medical school, I think they just spend a few hours on nutrition, but what we eat affects every part of our body. It affects how we sleep, how our skin looks, how our hair grows, how energetic we are, you know, and how likely we are in our older age to be able to speed up that metabolism. And so I became almost fanatic about nutrition, and started studying it and went to school for it for a very long time. And when I started my private practice in Chicago, no one was doing kind of the raw food or intermittent fasting or gluten-free. It was starting in LA for sure, 17 years ago, starting, not to age me, but like in New York, people were starting to talk about it. But in the Midwest, it was like, what are you talking about, raw food diet? What does that mean? Have a vegetable. And so I started working one-on-one with people that really wanted to make, like, again, I don't believe in going crazy counting the carbs. I'm not really big on the ratios of, you know, proteins. And I just think it's too complicated. And I think I told you girls this, the questions people asked me 17 years ago are the same questions people ask me today. What little changes can I make to lose weight? I really want to feel my best. And I always talk about feeling light in your own skin versus the number on the scale. You know that feeling when you put clothes on and you just feel good, you feel light. And so that's always my goal. Started working with corporations, going in and doing lunch and learns and things like that. Then I started doing TV, and it was then that, you know, working one-on-one is very different than being able to help like the masses. And so when I was doing national TV, people were like, not everyone can work one-on-one with you. And nor do you have the time, because I only take on like 5 people a week, because as you guys know, it is accelerated. It's 24/7 of working with someone. And that's that accountability is kind of the only reason this works, right? So how can you deliver something to the masses and have that accountability without me texting you every 5 seconds to drink your water, or to, you know, stop looking at the kitchen and stop eating, really. You know, I'm like, we all eat too much, and I think being aware of that. So we created these guides that anyone can download and do the 5-day. And then people wanted recipes for those that cook. I know Marge is like, I'm not interested in your recipes.
No, that's not true. As soon as the kitchen's finished, I will do the recipes.
Okay, good. I can't wait for you to try. The guides are meant for people to be able to download this with videos, step by step, do it at home, have that accountability, and really reset their bodies. And then people wanted the recipes. And then they wanted like desserts. What about our sweet tooth people? So I have a sweet tooth, so I created the desserts. And then I had, you know, women that were pregnant, and I have 3 kids, and people really wanted to know what did you eat while you were pregnant? How did you get pregnant? What did you eat while you were nursing? How did you get your body back after every baby? So that like walks you through all of that as well. And then the beauty guide, because people want to know, I want to eat foods that will rejuvenate my skin and my hair, and have that flat tummy naturally through foods. And so we have a beauty guide too. So it's been a long journey. I'm really new, I think, in the Instagram world, but I've been doing this a really long time. So people always think I'm like brand new, but this has been 17 years of kind of this wellness journey to help people.
I know, which is so great. I mean, we love it. I think it's so great. I just, I'm on my case with my husband. I think the biggest thing that I learned is the sodium content. Now I'm looking at everything. I didn't realize how high sodium everything is and how bloated it really makes you.
Absolutely. I think when I started working with people, they wanted me to define kind of my nutritional rules. And so that's when we created high, low, lean, no. I think I've told you guys that a lot. So
yes,
no-nos, I think, are a given. People know that sugar is sugar, right? It doesn't do our body any good. It ages us prematurely. It adds cellulite. It's just one of those things where we want sugar, but it's the little tweaks, and I'm not like this huge person in, everything in moderation. I don't actually believe that, which is a little bit controversial because that's what we hear all the time. I believe you create a lifestyle of foods that you really love, and you should never feel like you're cheating. I don't want to eat a cookie and feel like I need to just have a little bit of this because it's so bad for me. I want to find a cookie that I'm making little tweaks and it actually is good for me and I love the taste and it becomes part of my life and I'm never feeling like I can just have it once a year at Christmas. And so those are the no's. But the other no that not a lot of nutritionists are using is the no sodium and the no salt. So we all need sodium. That's a given. We need those electrolytes. But the extra salt in all of our food and all of our packaged food and all the restaurant ordering is what adds to like all that extra water weight. And I truly believe that it's really hard to lose real weight if you're carrying all of this extra water weight. And you know what that feels like when you're feeling the puffiness and when you can barely get your rings off, when you're closing your jeans and so we work on like day 1 and 2, get rid of all the sodium or the salt. There's a difference, right? We want the no extra salt out of your diet, and it's eye-opening. The puffiness in our face, even I feel like how we rejuvenate the collagen in our skin by getting rid of all that extra salt and water weight. So I take that away and I teach people how to use really medicinal spices. And that comes from my background and the travels where people just don't use the salt shaker, but they use things like turmeric and they use the peppers and they use all these things, cinnamon, that actually help your body. So that's the big with the no. The highs are a given. Yes. I made you guys drink so much water, which you guys are doing.
Yes, we're big water drinkers. And I feel like because I wasn't having the salts, my body craved more water. Does that make sense, Karina?
I was thirsty.
Well, I think when we make any sort of, it does make sense because it's kind of that yin and yang. So a lot of times if you're eating a lot of protein, you may crave sugar. And when you're eating sugar, you know that your body kind of needs that protein. So getting rid of that salt and helping your body reset and adjust is that water is kind of cleansing to your body to get it all out. So it makes sense that you would want to drink more water. And that's like the best number one thing you can do for your body. If people want to make one change, it's drink more water. Automatically, it speeds up your metabolism, keeps you full longer. I was always texting you guys like 30 minutes before a meal is proven that you're going to eat less calories during your meal if you down like 1 or 2 glasses of water before a meal. So these little tricks that we worked on during the week. This is not like an all smoothie diet for the week or a juice fast or, go without food.
What about like carbonation? I am not big into the carbonated drinks. I am like very anti-carbonated. Does that make sense?
I know Lexi
actually said the funniest thing to me. So I sent Karina a picture of my can of seltzer. I was like, can I have this or can I not have it? And it had no sodium, no calories, no fat, no sugar, no nothing. It was just like a big line of zeros. So Karina goes, okay, good. So you just want to drink a big can of gas? And I was like,
that's so funny. Yes, yes.
With the seltzers. I was drinking so many LaCroix, club soda.
Those are the most popular drinks, but I am just like, I am not about like the bubbles. I think it gives me a stomachache.
I would say 90% of my clients so they don't have the snack and food. They go for the LaCroix and those spark because it's something different and it's satisfying in that way. But I would say it's the number one way to just feel bloated and gassy. And so for me, I don't have time to be bloated or gassy. So I just say, again, have it. It's not the same kind of hydration as your water, and it's not going to make you feel good. So I kind of play that devil's advocate, and you were like, okay, I guess I'm skipping this.
Yeah, I was like, why would I want to kind of guess that? You're absolutely right. It was crazy.
Yes. I'm big, I like the unsweetened iced tea and things like that.
Yeah, and I think that's fine. Again, sometimes if you're making it yourself, that's great. I just challenge people to take one step back, one extra minute, and just read labels and see what's really in the stuff that you're putting in your body. I mean, we did that a lot with
fresh iced tea. Like when you go to a restaurant, I like a fresh unsweetened iced tea.
Wonderful. And I think like the more green teas and black teas, and those are all proven to speed up your metabolism. So why not add that and get rid of the LaCroix that does nothing for you but makes you feel gassy?
I agree.
I think we're gonna have to go on a bandwagon and get rid of carbonated drinks.
That's it. Smash them. Done.
Yes, we're over it. You know what else I loved, which I want everyone to know about? The bee pollen situation.
Ooh, yeah.
And then I was trying to tell my friends, you got to do bee pollen, but then I couldn't say what it was good for. Could you tell everybody what bee pollen is good for?
Bee pollen is one of those like hidden secrets, I feel like, that I've been using for years. I think, Lexi, you were a perfect example of these smoothies that you were putting the protein powders. I mean, the amount of calories probably in your morning smoothie by the time it was done was enough for the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so bee pollen is kind of like the honey, where it has so many antioxidants. We know that it's really high in protein, sometimes as much as like a piece of red meat, which people don't realize. It's easily digestible. It's great, like if you're going through any sort of premenopausal. So for women,
That's for the Marge, okay? In case anybody knows, Karina's trying to be socially appropriate.
It's one of it has so many health benefits, and you literally are putting like a few granules in any smoothie. You can put it on your salads. You can put it on avocado toast. It doesn't taste strong, so I feel like you can add it to everything, but it's such a game changer because it's low in calories and it's energy inducing. So I do recommend people just try it and try to put it instead of any sort of protein, so that you're not feeling like you need to eat as much protein as we all feel like we do throughout the day.
Yes, and I feel like it has a little hint of sweetness. It has a little hint of honey flavor, which I really, really love. So
I think it's super interesting as well that in this country, we're so pushed towards high protein. But then in the blue zones in Europe, which if people have ever heard of those, there's all these octogenarians and they eat basically no protein. They eat a lot of carbs and a lot of fiber.
Diet is plant-based. And so all of their proteins come from plant-based, and they are living and looking and feeling amazing well into their hundreds. Not that, that's like everyone's goal, but to look beautiful and feel amazing longer in her lives naturally, I think is a huge goal. And you're right, they are not eating chicken at every meal. And, most of the countries, if they're not plant-based and vegetarian, they're eating fish. Mm-hmm. So we talked a lot about replacing, chicken and stuff with fish and no red meat. I'm a huge on like salmon and shrimp, and also how that's cooked. So I think the number one probably eye-opener is like, okay, great, I'm ordering a salad with chicken on top, but how is that cooked? Is it drenched in salt? And making those little tweaks. But you guys were amazing. I feel like anybody that wants a reset, you have to be mentally ready to just try something new. Even if you guys didn't think it would be like a lifestyle, I'm like happy to see that you realize it's little changes, right? That go a really long way.
Yes, I absolutely agree. What about butter? That was the one thing that I had a hard time with. A little bit. I do like a little bit of butter.
The butter situation, I would caveat it with, what are you putting the butter on? Is it something that you could easily use like olive oil? So like if I'm making eggs, I'm spraying like the olive oil spray. If you're using it on top of bread and you just really like that butter, I would challenge you to try something like hummus on top and see how you like it. Or what is the butter? What is it that you're really loving about the butter?
I do. Sometimes I love, like I did buy the bread that you love, the spread bread, but I love a little butter sometimes. I can't, sometimes I just, but sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I just love a little butter.
And I would say if everything else is super clean in your day and that's your vice,
yes,
then go for the little bit of butter. And I would just say make sure it's organic, especially with any dairy. I'm very big on like the added hormones, and it's being very scary out there with how much they're adding into. So if you're going to do it in the healthiest possible way. But then I would also just challenge you to try other things on that bread, even like an almond butter. And I know you were doing like an almond butter spread with bananas on top, and you could sprinkle bee pollen on top of that, and you have like the most delicious, savory, but sweet meal. So it's making those little changes and just trying something new. You do butter all the time, but today you're going to try something new, and lo and behold, maybe you don't want the butter anymore.
It's true. I was just like in a restaurant, though I do olive oil. I do the olive oil. I do a lot of olive oil.
In olive oil, you know, because that is amazing for you versus the butter.
I feel like we spend so much time flicking through Instagram, especially for business, reading emails, doing work from our phones, that sometimes I just need to switch off and play like a game, give myself some escape.
No, first of all, you know the way I feel about social media. You have to force me to post a lot. So you always catch me and I'm always playing Best Fiends, which is so funny. It's that game. I know. I'm a little down low gamer, which people don't realize. And it's so funny. So I found this game, Best Fiends, which you guys will be absolutely obsessed with. There are 5,000 levels and counting. So by the time you get there, you know, they're going to even add more levels. It's had over 100 million downloads.
It is a really fun game to play. It's great for everyone. It's fun for all the family. I like to play it. Brian likes to play it. Ryan Mateo like to play it. It's a really fun, cute game with great graphics. And it does just really help you like de-stress and take your mind off things.
I know. And it's like, it has all these little bugs. It's so cute. It's cute, but it's just fun and it's engaging. And you know what? Sometimes I play it late at night. I can't sleep. Everybody knows I have the insomnia going on.
You do.
I do. And Joe's like passed out and he's sick of, you know, me being on Instagram, and I'm always looking and I get wrapped up in it. So I just love to play this game. And I feel like for some reason it makes me smarter because you have to pay attention. It works your mind. It's great. You guys will be obsessed with Best Fiends.
Everyone should download Best Fiends free today on the Apple App Store or Google Play. That's friends without the R, Best Fiends, Fiends. Let's be Best Fiends.
Let's be Best Fiends and friends.
The labels out there are so scary. Once I started reading the labels, and I do really shop the outside perimeters of the supermarket. I'm not buying a lot of prepackaged stuff.
Me either.
Always like shop the outsides. But even Nino's milk, like I buy him the healthiest, vitamin D, like the top of the line, most expensive milk. I looked at the label and I was like, oh my God, all this sodium, all this shit in there. What the hell am I going to do? I have to buy a cow?
I know.
Put it outside? Like what? Like it is scary. What's the scariest food that people think is healthy, but really is terrible?
So when I went to school, we had a lot of doctors come and teach the classes. And we would always ask, what is the worst possible food for us? And they would always caveat by saying, besides sugar, because that is probably labeled the worst, number 2 is dairy.
Wow, good.
Yeah. So every doctor, and that was hands down. We were taught every class for years and years. It was every single doctor that came said dairy because it is pure inflammation inside your body. And we know that inflammation is rooted to illness. And so dairy is the number 1. And we have this like dairy industry, you know, telling us that we need it. And I mean, I'm a nutritionist and I struggle with my kids. You know, my daughter's like tiny and I'm constantly like, I know that milk is the purest calcium that I can give her with the most, you know, 8 ounces, you have so much calcium. So I am in the same boat as a mom. You, in your head, you know they need calcium. And so I make sure that they're getting their fruit and veggies, but sometimes kids don't want that either. And so it's being really creative. I make sure she takes like a vitamin little gummy and they do drink milk and I buy organic and The moment they don't need that milk anymore though for growth, then I'm going to say we don't need it anymore, you know?
I know.
It's hard.
It is. Dairy was a game changer for you.
Dairy, I gave up the dairy.
Anymore, right?
I gave up the dairy with you. And I am now not taking Prilosec. In
Wow.
5 days, I gave up taking my heartburn medication.
Yeah.
Is that not crazy?
And as long as I've known you, you've always had Prilosec on hand.
Yeah, like
years.
I've had heartburn and everything else. And I gave up just the half and half of my coffee. And that was it. And I haven't had cheese. I mean, I've had maybe a little Parmesan cheese on something just because it was in whatever I was eating in a restaurant. I was picking at someone else's food. But I haven't had any dairy really since I met you, minimal. And I feel so much better. I mean, I've had a little butter. That's the only dairy I've really had. But everything else, 0.
Wow. In 5 days. I mean, 5 days.
Yeah, huge changes. I've gone off medication for heartburn. I was like, no fucking way. Truthfully, I was like, no fucking way. And right away.
Yeah, you said it right away. You were like, holy shit, why did I hold out so long to do this?
I think people get scared. Like, let's be honest, weight loss, especially for women, is beyond emotional. And I would say, would you guys agree that a lot of this is psychological when we're like talking and I'm like, are you hungry right now? Or why are you eating? Or why are you craving that? Or why, you know, a lot of clients, they like almost sneak things past me and then they weigh themselves and we're like, you know, you've got to be honest. And I think when you take that step back and you're like, why am I addicted to this food? Or why am I binge eating? Or why have I gotten into this habit? I think it's really hard. We can go work out. Working out is like this immediate gratification and we feel good, but then having to change things in our diet for some reason is so hard for every woman.
I know. You know what? I swear, the whole thing is like yesterday I wanted to eat an omelet. I went to the diner. I was like, what the? I couldn't order an omelet because I'm so used to having cheese in my omelet. I mean, that's what I feel like. What am I going to do in my omelet?
See, I've been doing, I mean, I could even show you, Karina, look, that was my breakfast this morning. Good girl.
That's beautiful, Lex.
Love it. Well, and her, like, she's like a chef. I feel like her presentation was more beautiful.
Yeah, Lexi's presentation's beautiful. I mean, you know, game on when I get my kitchen done.
Oh, yeah, you're going to be,
game on.
She's an amazing chef.
No, I have to be, I'm a good cook. So we'll cook here. We'll have
I think you try it. I think it's a matter of trying it. What is it going to hurt? I think people, especially in the United States, we get really fearful we're not going to have our next meal for some reason. Do you know anybody, like, oh my gosh, if I'm going out, I'm going to like, let's say you're filming for hours.
Yes.
Like, oh, I'm not going to be able to eat. I'm not hungry right now, but I should eat right now. Just in case I'm hungry in 2 hours, then I would have eaten, right? We get this like scared tactic that we're not going to get food. With the omelet situation, try it without cheese. See if you like it. Add extra veggies. You know, that's when then maybe you have the toast with it. And you do something that maybe is a little more of a splurge to try it without the cheese and see if you like it. And sometimes I would say 90% of the time you don't even miss it. The same with your smoothies. You know, I think you were nervous, like, well, what protein powder am I going to put in it? You know, and you're making it, you're like, what if I don't like it? And so I'm like, well, what if you don't like it? Then grab a banana on your way out. Like, what's the end of the world, you know? And so lo and behold, you like it and you just saved yourself, you know, hundreds of calories and added something that's really good for you.
Yes.
So change up what you're ordering. Try it.
Yes, I want you to debunk the myth. You're not into keto.
I'm not.
I know. And keto is so popular. And I have some friends, oh, I'm on keto. And then they have shitty breath. But I want you to say, like, why aren't you into keto? Because I don't think that's sustainable for life.
No.
It's not, well, it shouldn't be sustainable. I think anybody on keto should look at it as an extremely short-term diet, okay? And so the reason being is you're doing everything we've learned is bad for our hearts and our arteries by eating pure fat and then not eating the things that we have that have a lot of nutrients and vitamins like the vegetables and fruit. It's like opposite of all long-term studies and facts. Will it help you lose weight quickly? Absolutely. But so did the Karina Method. Like 5 days and you're eating like all your meals and you're eating healthy. And you're right, the long-term effects of keto is hair loss, bad breath, potential of like heart risk. Like why would anyone look at that for long-term? And it's just not sustainable long-term. Are you eating really filling foods? Yes, because the fat is so high up. So what I teach people is the opposite, almost pure opposite, I guess, of keto is your plate should be filled with the highest antioxidant, highest nutrient foods. And the protein, never had a client that was protein deficient. Unless you're like really vegetarian or vegan and you're really just not eating any proteins, it's really rare in the United States to be protein deficient. So we need just a little bit, and proteins are really hard to digest. So the people eating keto, they're keeping that food in them for like up to 72 hours. So
wow, crazy.
That's why their breath, their digestive system. And, you know, I'm really, as you guys know, I'm really big into strong digestion. When your digestion system feels good, you feel good and light. Like it's just, so I know that's controversial, and I know keto is really popular because people are getting immediate gratification, but let's talk to them in a month and see how they're feeling. And I've never met anyone that's kept it going truly, truly long-term. So sorry, keto.
Sorry,
I'm gonna
keto.
play this with my husband because he was like, I'm doing the keto. I got these keto powders. It works for me. I could eat steak and chicken wings. I go, oh, that sounds like a good diet. I go, why don't you like talk to the girl that has been, you know, steadily losing weight, keeping it off for the last 8 weeks, working out 3 times a week, while you stuff your face with those chicken wings, fatty. I was like so mad because I get so frustrated. The equation to me seems so simple, and this is your method. Take in less calories than you put out in a day and make every calorie count.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
keto is not that at all.
That involves just a little bit of tweaking and thinking versus keto. Eat as high fat food as possible, which is a lot easier, especially, you know, for maybe a guy that doesn't want to be on a diet, right? This is like kind of the no diet, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think he will feel great. And you want to feel good. It's all about, and it shows in your, you know, you can do Botox and filler and everything like we all do, but your food is going to show. It's eventually, there's only so much you can do. It's going to show in that long-term aging. And so I'm about, let's eat for beauty. Let's eat for energy. Let's feel light, and let's be closer to the weight that we're meant to be at. Like we're all carrying a little bit more than we need, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of, that's where my tough love comes in. And I'll either have clients that will say, I only need to lose 5 pounds. And I'm like, no, actually you need to lose more.
Yeah. Well, listen, you're hardcore with me.
But you know, that like, that's what works. And that accountability and being real. If you look in the mirror, I think more than 3 times a week, and you are not happy with what you see naked, it's time to make changes. And the only one that can decide that is you. Like my goal isn't not only for you to feel good when you're dressed, but you should be feeling really good in a bathing suit or naked. You should have that confidence that I am working hard and I like what I see. And I think most of the times we don't, right?
No, you're right.
Mm-hmm. So that involves changing something. You got to change something.
How am I going to convince my husband, who wakes up in the morning, has crumb cake with a cup of coffee, then does not eat the whole day, can't wait for us to eat dinner, or, you know, but he does a lot of physical labor. So he's very active. He does a lot of physical labor. And then at dinner, he's like, he has the bread with the olive oil, the butter. He's ordering tortellini with pesto sauce. He's a beast. Caesar salad. You know, then he's having a cappuccino. He's just an unhealthy eater. I mean, this morning I saw him, you're going to die. Frozen sausage out of the freezer into the microwave. I almost fainted.
But how does he feel? How is he sleeping?
He's a good sleeper. He's a good sleeper.
You know, I think, like, what is his digestion at a certain point? And again, it has to be, you can tell him.
I could die the way he eats. I have a freak out. You know, he'll say his joint, you know, something will hurt his arm, his joints, because he does a lot of physical labor. He's like, I'm moving this way, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm like, Joe, I'm like, seriously, you have a death wish. I mean, listen, he definitely has a stomach. I'm like,
but he is an animal. Like he has the stamina.
he has a lot of
like,
energy. The problem is he does have a lot of energy, which
so it feels good. So it hasn't affected his overall feeling. I mean, you could play the sympathy. I want you to live a long, healthy life. And
I do say that, or I'm going to up the insurance. I don't know what to do.
Because he gets puffy eyes.
He does get very puffy eyes, and I'm considering, I'm forcing him to get his eyes done.
You start small. Does he drink enough water? Is he
No, he does not drink enough water.
So neither does my husband. And so everyone assumes like, everyone in my house follows my method, but we're all human, right? And so I get him the water and you remind him and you say, I'm not asking you to change anything else. The one thing I want you to change is to drink more water. And then you start with that and really tell him, I need you to finish this every day. And I know you're busy. You don't have time to like go to the bathroom every 5 seconds. So you start with that. Then once he's done that for a few months, then you say, I want you to change your breakfast, and you make it easy on him. I boiled eggs. Here's your new breakfast. There's no crumb cake. Would you be willing to do that for me? And we'll still go out to dinner, and you can do everything you want at dinner. So it's baby steps, especially with someone that's not calling me up on the phone wanting to do this. It's somebody that's like, I'm fine. I feel great. I sleep great. And this is my lifestyle. Don't try to change it.
I felt it was life-changing. I feel like it's so much better. I feel like I've become that girl. I have another girlfriend, Jill Oshinsky. If she's listening, I'm going to say her whole life has been no salt. Every time I go out, I'm like, Jill, you're so fucking annoying. But now I'm that girl. I'm like, no salt, but I do see it makes a difference. And even Joe said it, like I look much leaner.
Yeah, you do.
And I'm still going with it, and I feel better. And Lexi obviously is much better than she's been doing a lot more working out.
I think the thing that I'm keeping going with it really I'm so into it. I'm making everyone crazy and telling everyone they have to do it because I thought I was doing great. So in 8 weeks, I've dropped 15 pounds.
Amazing.
4 inches from my waist.
Mm-hmm.
So the first 4 weeks of it, I was with my trainer and we tweaked my nutrition, but she's a trainer. She's not a trained nutritionist. So we did like a tweak of my nutrition. But I thought I was doing really good. I was dropping weight. I was fine. Then I did your 5-day reset, made all these little tweaks, and people have stopped me and said, your skin looks amazing. Now, granted, I did have Botox and fillers just recently, fillers in my cheeks because I'd lost weight and lost volume. But my skin now
is so much. Everybody, we're doing work in the house finally. Yes. And all the power went out and cut off our fabulous Karina the last few minutes. So here we go.
Yes. And we were just saying, both of us, how much this has impacted our lives. And you'd asked us if we were TKM for life. How did it change us? How did we feel? And I could safely say I'm definitely TKM for life. My breakfast again this morning proved it.
I know I have not had dairy, granted I snuck in a little butter, but I'm still doing my coffee thing. Yesterday for lunch, we were filming. I went out for lunch. I just had my salmon on top of a little bit of a farro salad. I only ate half of it. It had avocado. You'd be so proud. Dressing on the side. I finished the rest for dinner. I didn't eat like an animal. I'm like so proud. I feel so much better.
See, these are little changes though, right? Like none of this is like a juice fast and not eating all day, and I know you were skeptical at the beginning. We had our 1 hour call where we went over like health history and you were like, I'll try it. We'll see. But as you can see, like it is easy. It's easy to make really small changes that go a really long way. And I'm happy to hear that you guys will keep it going because that's the whole point. This is not a 5-day and done. It's really like here are really applicable things that you can do in your life to feel that lightness, right? And that's what we're all like hoping for.
Oh, it's like the dream. And the good thing is you don't do this for just anyone. You have agreed to do a giveaway to one of our listeners.
And I never do that because as you guys know, it is literally 24/7 that I'm with you guys to make sure that accountability is huge. So it's a big deal and I'm excited.
It's a giveaway that Karina is up your butt 24/7, keeping you accountable, but it's going to be life-changing. You're going to lose weight. Your mentality is going to change. If I could do it, P.S., I'm the least dedicated person in the whole world, the least disciplined. I can't do anything. I've never stayed on a lifestyle, a diet, anything. I mean, seriously, half the time I don't take off my makeup before I go to bed. And also you came up with this method on your own. You're formally trained. You were in medical school.
Yes.
So that's what's so impressive. This isn't some fad bullshit. This is based on science.
Well, and that's important to me. I think the moment I started doing TV and talking to masses, people want to make sure that everything that comes out of my mouth is legit. And people are really confused about weight loss, nutrition. It's overwhelming. It's emotional. And so I want to make sure that everything that I tell you guys is something that's been a long-term study from Harvard, from doctors, from scientists. This is not me reinventing the wheel and saying, okay, Marge, you need to cut the dairy from your morning coffee because I say so. It's because we know that you're going to feel lighter. You're going to get rid of inflammation. You're going to get rid of that water weight that you've been holding on to. And that's the beginning of weight loss. And this is all meant to be honestly really easy that you girls will keep on in your busy lifestyles. Whether you're ordering out at a restaurant, you still can use little tips to just make sure that the next morning you can actually get your jewelry off and you're not like puffy eyed. So it's not only about the weight loss, it's about looking in the mirror and feeling really good and knowing that you have that ownership of what goes into your body, you know, and mentally too. Like, I think even when you look good dressed, if you take all your clothes off and you look in the mirror and you hate what you see and there's this mental battle every day, that's not sustainable either, you know? And so it's about feeling really light in your own skin, making sure what feeds you is giving you energy to get through. You are one of the busiest people I've ever, like working with you.
Sad but true. I'm going to not deny.
Like, in a good busy, you're doing amazing things. And so you need to feel good. You need to feel energetic. You need to be able to sleep better. You need to be able, you know, to just even have no foggy brain. We know that food affects every element of our body. So I'm very proud of you guys because it takes you guys to do what I'm telling you guys to do. So the motivation is there, especially when you see the scale kind of trickle down a little bit. That's motivating. And I know you weren't weighing yourself before this, right?
Not every day. No.
Not at all. I've seen you go to the doctor and refuse the weigh-in.
I've refused the weigh-in at the doctor. I'm like, I'm menstrual. I'm not getting. I'm puffy. I'm this. I'm that.
Times.
The doctors would allow me to refuse the weigh-in, just so you know. I have the best doctors. They would be like, Marge, don't worry.
But it holds you accountable, right? And I'm not one to make sure that people are fixated on a number because I want you, it's more important how you feel in your clothes and your own body. But that accountability is right there. When you see that number going down, you know you're working hard and you're drinking water and you're eating healthy. I know I was like water, but you guys are already drinking water. Did you feel like I made you drink even more? Like you were just like in the bathroom?
I peed a lot, but I feel like, I don't know. Yes, I drank a ton of water, and I think people have to really drink a ton of water and give up the seltzers and all of that stuff.
If there was one piece, because we asked 3 questions to everyone. So if there was like one piece of nutritional information, like one real piece that everyone could apply today, just one small change, what would that takeaway be?
I mean, the small change is that accountability. I feel like taking ownership of what you're feeding yourself is the tough love that I'm constantly preaching everyone. It doesn't matter your body type, if you're male, female. Once you decide to really own up to the fact that you want to feel good and it actually takes a little bit of work, that's my advice. Like, own it, work hard for it, and know that it's like any other element of your life that you have to, you know, take ownership of. So that accountability has to be something that you wake up and say, I deserve to feel great and to look great. And whether it's the nutrition or working out, it's 360.
Well, we are still working in this new normal, but thank God for stamps.com. It makes it so easy. Everything you could do at the post office, you could do right from your computer.
You know why I love it? Because we conduct our business out of our house. We've always conducted business out of the house. And now so many people are working from home, and you just do your postage right from your computer, and you have a savings of money. It's 62% off UPS rates.
It is.
And I was the queen of UPS, and now I'm the queen of stamps.com.
That's right. And 5 cents off every stamp also.
It's life-changing. I mean, this was genius, and we've been using it for a long time. Marge Senior always used stamps.com, and she was like, Marge, you got to use stamps.com.
Yep. It's a big thing for us in our business. It keeps us efficient. for 24/7. We could just jump on the computer, print out the postage for any letter, any package, any class of mail, anywhere we want to send. It's so easy.
Listen,
it's total no-brainer.
That's right. When I go out of the house, I don't feel like going to the freaking post office.
No.
I just don't. So that's why stamps.com is so great.
It really is.
It's anybody could use it. You don't have to be like a computer whiz, nothing. You just use it. You print out your postage. So easy. And for our Caviar Dreamer listeners,
we have such a great offer. It's a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale without any long-term commitment.
No long-term commitment. A digital scale, not to weigh yourself.
Although this week we could because we're so skinny now.
Yes, exactly.
Thanks, Karina. Just go to stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in caviar, CAVIAR. That's stamps.com and enter caviar.
I mean, it's free to do it, guys. Get on there.
So tell us also, in your career, I'm sure there's been crazy big girl panties moments where you've had to talk to clients and you've had to do things that you do not want to do.
Crazy stuff. Like what is your big girl panty moment that is like, oh my God?
I have them weekly. I mean, I feel like when you're working with celebrities or athletes that call me up and say, Karina, I have to be on the red carpet. I need to lose 20 pounds in 5 days. Those are my big girl calls where I'm like, okay, listen, sweetie, I can work some miracles, but not that much. So it's this realistic weight loss talks that I constantly have to have with clients day to day. They want to achieve big things, which I can, as you guys can see, but we can only do so much in 5 days. So
not a magician.
Yes, exactly. You're not performing liposuction.
Yeah,
exactly.
Cutting someone's head off. But Karina, also I was going to ask you, I always say the key to my success is 50% determination, 50% delusion. Because I said, if I don't believe my own hype, no one else is going to. What percent determination are you? What percent delusion?
I can honestly say I am 150% determination. I think anyone that knows me knows that.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Everything I do is determination. And if there was I wouldn't call it like delusion. I would call it more high hopes. Like if there's anything I want to achieve that feels really out of reach, it's kind of this high hope mentality of just getting there. And I think I try to instill that with every client. There's a lot of cheerleading that goes on and rah-rah on a daily basis that, we got this. And so I try to teach my daughter and my kids the same thing. Like, don't be told no, just figure out a way to how to get to your dreams. So there's no delusion. There's no time for delusions. There's only time for let's get this done.
Okay. I love that. I love the high hopes. Maybe I'm calling it delusion. I always say, I had high hopes.
No, you have high hopes. Yeah.
I guess, but I always say it's like delusion. I believe my own, I believe if I don't believe my own, dreams and everything else, no one else is going to. Exactly. So tell everybody where to find you. How are they going to find you? How are they going to find the Karina Method? How are people going to sign up?
Perfect. So you can go to my website, thekarinamethod.com. On there, you can sign up to work one-on-one with me. I have a 5-day, which you guys both experienced. I have a 5-day for athletes. I have a 5-day for moms, and I have a 5-day for teens because I've been working with a lot of Ford models that not for weight loss, but more to just eat healthier. And then if you can't work one-on-one with me, on the website, you can download any of my guides. So I have my rule book, and basically it's a step-by-step of everything you experience, even the mental obstacles of like, why isn't the scale moving? Or I really want, that cappuccino in the afternoon. It covers it all. I have 5 guides. I think I told you guys. So all of those are downloadable. They're all like 60 pages. There's videos in there. There's no excuses to not kind of reach your goals on your own. So either working with me or not, you have it on my website. I have recipes you can download. And then obviously on Instagram at the Karina Method. So there's ways to find me.
Karina with a K, everybody.
Yes.
Karina with a K.
Yes.
I love it. Well, Karina, thank you so much for coming on and coming back with our technical glitches.
And thank you for changing our lives.
Yeah, thank you for changing our lives. I mean, I'm like sodium queen. I'm that girl. I'm checking it out with everybody and giving my husband lip about it too.
Oh, well, I get so attached to all my clients. I know on Saturday morning when I don't get to text you guys, it's kind of this like,
well,
I know how you guys are doing.
Well, we're always going to be in touch, and we're connected for life. So, and I can't wait till we're done with this, and we'll be flying all over because we do come to Chicago, and you'll be in New York.
I'll be in New York. I love it.
Perfect. Mwah. Thanks,
Bye.
Karina. Love you guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Karina is really the best. And we were skeptical.
We were. By the way, for me to give up half and half, that's a big fucking deal. That's a big deal. Everybody knows. Everyone makes fun of me. I'm the eater on the show. Those girls are into the working out, healthy, posting, bikini shots. And I'm like, pass the cheeseburger, pack my food to go. I'm throwing a wine glass, but I'm like, get my shit going. Get my food, and I'm on them. But I do feel better.
You feel better.
I felt 1,000% better. Giving up the dairy was very difficult.
And I think that's the other thing. Like, it was amazing.
And it's not about the fat, like feeling fat. It was about give up the dairy. I feel better.
That's what it is. I'm happy I lost weight. And it wasn't because I thought I was like a fat bitch before. Some days I did. Like, there's no body shaming in this at all. Everyone has to be thin like a supermodel. It's about feeling good and making your food work for you. I'm really focused on what I put in my body. I thought I ate healthy before, but I was eating sugary crap.
Exactly.
Really good. Okay. So if you want to win the giveaway, go to Instagram. All the information will be on our Instagram. Enter.
You know, it's a great, great giveaway, and it's life-changing. You're going to feel good, feel healthy. And Karina, you know, is just great.
She really is. So follow us at Caviar Dreams Tuna Fish Budget. Follow the Marge at the Real Margaret Joseph.
As opposed to the fake one.
Yep. And me at the Life of Mrs. B.
Yes.
As opposed to the Life of Mrs. Z.
Yes,
D.
exactly.
Keep dreaming, guys.
Keep dreaming, caviar dreamers.
No one